Welcome to TICE. Today I have with me Dr. Prateek Desai. He is the founder of a startup called KissanAI. KissanAI is a new age startup which is solving the real problems of Kisan, of the farmers of the country. Welcome Prateek.
Thank you.
Prateek, KissanAI के बारे में अगर आप मुझे बताएं, so what is it really? Like, what is KissanAI?
So हम किसानों के लिए को पायलट बिल्ड कर रहे हैं यूजिंग जनरेटिव एआई. हमारा गोल ये है कि हमारे यहाँ एग्रीकल्चर इंडस्ट्री इंस्टीट्यूट्स है, विज्ञान केंद्र है, बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन एडवाइजरी रिसर्च प्रोड्यूस होता है, पर वो किसानों को कभी पहुँच नहीं पाता है.
बिल्कुल.
तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि हम ये इंफॉर्मेशन इकट्ठा करके उसको क्यूरेट करके नॉलेज बेस बना रहे हैं, और दिस नॉलेज बेस सिट्स ऑन टॉप ऑफ द लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स. एंड जब किसान और हम उसको सर्व कर रहे हैं मल्टीपल लैंग्वेजेस में, so 9 Indian languages and other languages we are supporting, and it's also voice based conversational AI. So it's a co-pilot where farmer can open the application, click a button, ask a question in their own language, and reply gets back in the same language in audio format. So it's like having a conversation with an AI, and we are making available the knowledge which is supposed to be reaching there through the AI.
सो प्रतीक, अगर मैं चैट जीपीटी या गूगल बार्ड की बात करूँ तो उसमें भी हम जनरली लाइक वी गो एंड पुट आवर क्वेश्चंस एंड गेट एन आंसर और लाइक अ सॉल्यूशन टू आवर प्रॉब्लम. सो हाउ इज KissanAI different from those platforms?
So when you talk about OpenAI, GPT or Google Bard,
right,
these are general purpose LLMs built on top of like और सब तरह का डेटा जो वेब पे से स्क्रैप किया हुआ है उस पे से बने हुए हैं. KissanAI क्या करता है कि हम लोग वी आर वेरी स्पेसिफिक ऑन इंडिया सेंट्रिक एग्रीकल्चर प्रैक्टिसेस, राइट.
ओके.
तो हमने हमारा ये नॉलेज बेस बनाया है जिसकी वजह से जब फार्मर क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है और वो अपने ज्योग्राफी अपनी सिचुएशन डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है, तो जो आंसर होगी वो ये नॉलेज बेस में से बन के आएंगे. वी स्टिल यूज लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल एट बेस राइट नाउ टू कॉम्प्रीहेंड फार्मर्स क्वेश्चन कि वो क्या पूछ रहा है,
right,
उसके ऊपर से हम सर्च करके हमारे नॉलेज बेस में करते हैं. तो ये दिस इज बेसिकली इंडिया एग्रीकल्चर स्पेसिफिक पर्टिकुलर. तो उसका जो आंसर आएगा वो उसके हिसाब से होगा. जबकि आप वही क्वेश्चन आप पूछोगे गूगल में या फिर ओपन एआई में, तो वो जनरल पर्पस होगा.
right. Also, like, how did you really find the need for this product?
So we like in 2019 after like my last startup, I decided I want to work in agriculture for India.
Okay.
और मैंने like start किया company. The goal was that we are going to create AI/ML tools, something which we can directly put in the hands of farmers.
Okay.
Or we started building like high-tech AI applications such as farmland segmentation and all. और हम लोग ने realize किया कि ये चीज़ हम AI high-tech बनाएंगे भी तो फार्मर की काम की नहीं है, वो कभी रीच नहीं होगी क्योंकि उसकी यूजेबिलिटी नहीं है. So we started building AI/ML application and also started learning कि हमको अगर फार्मर के पास के हाथ में कुछ चीज़ पहुंचानी है तो सिंपल होनी चाहिए, डिफिकल्ट नहीं चाहिए. आप बहुत हाईटेक बना के डेमो करोगे बट इट डजंट वर्क इन रियल वर्ल्ड ऑन द फार्मर बिकॉज वी यूज्ड टू वर्क विद द फार्मर्स ऑन द ग्राउंड. तो फिर हम लोगों ने जो नॉलेज हमारा इकट्ठा किया था, नॉलेज बेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ वर्किंग एंड एडवाइजिंग देम, तो वो उसका यूज़ करके आवर फाइनल कंक्लूजन वाज कि हम अगर ऐसे एप्लीकेशन बनाए जो मल्टीलिंगुअल हो और वॉइस बेस्ड हो तो हम उस पर कुछ भी नॉलेज डिलीवर कर सकते हैं और इजीली. और फार्मर को कोई सेटिंग याद नहीं रखना पड़ेगा, ऐप याद नहीं रखनी पड़ेगी, और वो मोर एंगेज रहेगा वो एप्लीकेशन से. तो उसके ऊपर से हमें लाइक KissanAI कॉन्सेप्ट वाज बॉर्न, or like we made it, and then when we deliver we got like amazing response from the farmers. Like we don't spend anything on the marketing, like we are completely bootstrapped, like we are in Microsoft booth because Microsoft knows like I would never come and pay for any of those things. And our whole like startup is basically word of mouth. Farmers are talking in their WhatsApp group, and then WhatsApp group they like it, they spread it in other group, and that's how we got to like 100,000 farmer without talking to even single farmer. And they are reaching out. Now they started reaching out with the feedbacks and requests and feature requests. The retention is very high. There are like 40% people who use it. They keep using it and spreading it around because it works. It's simple, right. It works and it solves the real problem. कि भाई मुझे ये चाहिए था, मैं प्रोफेसर को कॉल नहीं करूँगा एग्रीकल्चर इंस्टीट्यूट में, या फिर मुझे कॉल सेंटर के लाइन में बैठना नहीं है. I can just clock middle of the night and get answer.
So there are lots of technologies. There are lots of schemes that does not really reach to the last person who really you don't need it. So apart from this organic growth, in the initial times, how did you ensure that your technology reaches out to the actual person who need it?
So that was I was saying, like, we haven't even tried right now actually working on the ground to spread the technology.
Okay.
This has been growing organically, and I'm also making sure that it grows organically, and I do not spend forceful money to actually reach out. Right? We are reaching out to FPOs, we are reaching out to organization who works on the ground, and these are the people also reaching out to say like, hey, we saw your solution. If you educate us, I will educate the people in our community. But we ourselves right now, because we are limited, we are working on more accuracy on the knowledge. We just recently released the world's first agriculture model called Dhenu, and we are focusing on the technology, on accuracy in all part. And because the things work, the technology work, it's farmers who are taking care of the organization, reaching out, other ministry or some people reaching out and say like, hey, can we use it, something like that. I want to rely on that one and not right now try forcefully to reach out to the farmer and feed them, like, force feed them like, hey, use our technology, but अच्छा नहीं. Let them find out, let them find it's useful, and then they will use it and spread it.
So you mentioned about Dhenu. So can you tell me more about it? Like Dhenu है क्या actually?
So Dhenu वर्ल्ड का सबसे फर्स्ट एग्रीकल्चर डोमेन स्पेसिफिक लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल है, और इट्स ऑल्सो बायलिंगुअल हिंदी इंग्लिश मॉडल. और अभी तक like nobody has like released anything in agriculture LLM yet. Or because we have been using KissanAI, we have been collecting a lot of conversation, we are able to train this thing. और धेनु नाम इसलिए रखा है बिकॉज जो ओपन सोर्स और अदर लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल आ रहे हैं उसके नाम लामा, ऑर्का, आइना, डॉल्फिन है. और धेनु मेक सेंस बिकॉज इधर इज काम धेनु और किसान धेनु. That is what we are trying to make sure, like it's India's LLM, maybe the first one coming out from Bharat, which is actually domain specific or useful, right? Many people like that. There are other things which are going around, but GPT were basically built on top of it. But we are like a fine-tuned Llama model to make it them of it.
Okay, so if we talk about KissanAI, so like how do the farmers really get access to it? Like, is it paid? Is like what do you really charge them?
So right now it's a free application, and it's always going to be free application for farmer. Like we are never ever going to charge farmers to use it or to get access to information. Right now they can use website. We have an app, Android app. We are launching iOS app, and we are also creating a WhatsApp bot, so they can have all way of accessing the information.
So आप जैसे अलग अलग जगहों के किसानों से कनेक्ट करते हैं, सो भारत में आपके अकॉर्डिंग, आपके डेटा के और एप्लीकेशंस के अकॉर्डिंग किस सेक्टर के किसान हैं जो मे बी ज़्यादा टेक फ्रेंडली हैं?
Tech friendly, like that's a good question. So what do you have seen the जहाँ फार्मर ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल कर रहा है, like see phones are there everywhere. इट्स नॉट कि फ़ोन अभी इंडिया में सब यूज़ करते हैं, छोटा एंड्रॉयड सस्ता वाला, फिर भी सबके पास है फ़ोन. बट द पीपल फार्मर्स आर मोर progressive in terms of trying new tech are the farmer who are actually in the areas which are not very fortunate enough to have like a lot of rainfall or like a good land. So the struggling farmers are actually trying technology more, like at least our technology, because it's free. Now they cannot try water like drip irrigation and all because it may be expensive for them to buy. But this is free. They can always ask questions. They don't have to worry about struggle to getting like some advisors and expert like that. So right now, like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, some part of like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, some part of Madhya Pradesh, these are like state which has like the most user and they are asking like the most questions basically.
And how do you plan to expand? Like how do you plan to reach out to farmers of other regions as well?
So right now, see, the thing is, these are the farmers who are in actual need, right? And they're reaching out to us. So maybe we want to focus on reaching out to this area farmer only because they actually need it. And people, farmers who are actually like, very well settled and they have access to every information, maybe they will not use it. So I don't want to force effort to actually reach out to them. And then the other areas farmer, I guess we will find out either they are not adopting it because we do not have contact with FPOs organization, or is it something wrong with the data or knowledge that we have for that region, or maybe it's a language thing. So we will investigate and we will like try to reach it out. Right now I'm letting it grow organically, so sometime in some region or state some group found out and then they keep actually spreading around. So that's why you get popular in one state, like we have in Vidarbha, Jharkhand, in Maharashtra area there are like a lot of farmers find out and now they are spreading it around. So it may not have reached some other part of but it will reach and then they'll use it too.
Coming to my last question, like what really entice you about entrepreneurship? Why did you really choose this?
So for me, entrepreneurship, it has been like always there. So after I completed my PhD, I have never been to a job which I got paid. So basically, I never passed interview to get a job. Like I was always a founder. I had a 3 startup in Silicon Valley before I started Titori.
Okay.
And I guess this is something like naturally comes in. So the one thing for me is like being like having the destiny in my control. So
Right.
at least I have clarity always of what I'm trying to do. So right now I have clarity of what exactly I'm trying to achieve. And being an entrepreneur and founder, you can control it and you can actually shape it around. Other thing is like around family support, and that's very important too.
Right.
You know, when you have like a family supporting your entrepreneur journey, it's becoming easy.
It was the last question, but since you mentioned about Silicon Valley and you mentioned about your previous startups, so can you tell me like what is the difference between having a startup in India and having a startup in US?
Okay, so multiple things. So India, the startup experience what I have is something about where like customer acquisition. I think that the first thing is that the acquisition of customer, because of the income level are different. Like over here we have consumer who is always trying to find free solution. If you stop giving discount, they'll go more to other. There is no customer loyalty and things like that. That's like very honest truth, basically. And we in the US and other outside, it's like on the customer side. That's where once you trust it, they stay there forever. In terms of entrepreneurship, I think the biggest difference between why Silicon Valley is different than any other country. Like we have India's story and we keep counting how many unicorns India produce, but let's find out how many unicorns in India produce are actually profitable.
True.
Right? Like most of them are like burning money.
Right.
Yeah, burning money and not making profit. So the thing is, in US, the failure is okay. Failure is like celebrated sometime. In Silicon Valley, they say when you fail, you actually carry a flag. They say when you fail, you're carrying more learnings than the one who got successful. And the reason probably in India we have seen is first of all, we try to copy all the Silicon Valley models in terms of business model, in terms of customer acquisition, in terms of raising VC money and everything. But then the people who try to copy the business model forgot to understand the Indian consumer.
True.
We did 4 years, as I was saying in my story, that we failed to understand earlier that I'm building an Indian farmer. I cannot build something for which I thought about developing for US farmer, right? So Indian entrepreneurs over here they forget, they keep raising it, but then they cannot sell it, they cannot generate enough revenue, the margins are very low, it's very difficult to actually keep and maintain the customers. And that's why then many frauds are coming out, and then you have to make up numbers for the thing. So I think the honest experience from whatever 4 years I have been here is doesn't matter, you don't want to force grow your company, force market your company, find product market fit genuinely works. If it doesn't, pivot, be okay with failure. Do not just expand your lifestyle and funding and staff beyond your revenue goals and all. But hopefully, I think this current winter in Indian startup ecosystem probably will help us
All right.
to learn.
Thank you, Mr. Desai. Thank you for having this conversation.
Awesome.